Okay, good. Good evening, everyone. You want to lean in, sweetheart?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
What's up, guys?
Hi, my name is Rhonda, and this is my handsome husband, Andrew Dove, and we are
30 till forever.
30 till forever. I still can't see you over here.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. We'll try to get a little closer in this camp.
So listen, last week we asked you guys to submit questions so that you can ask us anything this evening.
Right.
And we got a few questions. Some were sent in through text message like just a second ago, and I was not able to print it off, but it was a similar question that was sent in regards to accounts. And then some questions was asked of me earlier today that I just kind of wrote down. So we're gonna
What did you write them down at?
Right here.
All right, cool.
So we are going to go ahead and do you want to give them a little background first, sir?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm trying to share the video.
Okay, so I can give you a little background. I don't mind giving a little background. So some of you may know and some of you may not know. Me and the mister here have been married for over 30 years, and we've been together for more than 33 years. I think 35 years altogether.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, we've spent most of our lives together. And in the course of the years that we have been together, we have been through a lot.
Yes.
A lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, a lot of heartache, pain, a lot of good times, but you know, and with the good times come some bad times also.
Right.
And through all that, we are still together. But please believe it is not by our own efforts that we are together. Now, when I say not by our own efforts, we did have to play a part in it. We wanted to be okay as a couple, and we wanted to be together as a couple. So we had to make a decision to come together and make this marriage work, regardless of everything that we have been through. And again, we've been through a lot. Sir, I cannot see you on either screen.
I apologize, love. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get the other video up. I'm sorry. But you're doing a great job. Keep going. Y'all see the way she looking at me? Yep.
So, with that being said, and the questions that we posed, we wanted you guys to just send us any questions that you have, regardless of what the question is. We just wanted you to send us as many questions as you wanted answers to.
This is the wrong video.
So, so I'm gonna give him an opportunity to speak.
I'm sorry. I was trying to bring the other video up. I told you what I was doing. My wife gets really impatient, y'all. You not gonna keep talking? Really? You just gonna sit there and look like that? Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, like she said, we've been together for 35 years, and we've been through a lot, experienced a lot, and we don't mind sharing our life, the ups and the downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly with you guys.
And this is some ugly right here.
It's not really ugly. It's really nothing.
If I don't see you in both of these.
Y'all got excuse because we're actually on Instagram and we're on Facebook at the same time. So, but what we're doing tonight is we're doing a Ask Us Anything. You can ask us anything about our marriage, about our relationship, how anything. We will cover any and everything, any topic that you guys ask. See, there's a comment from Trish, and I don't see it.
I don't see anything up there either, so.
Trish, I apologize. I do not see your comment.
That is.
Hey, Phyllis, how you doing? Nope, that's Phyllis.
Hi, Phyllis. Okay, so this is getting kind of crazy because we do need.
We got multiple feeds, and we're trying to figure out where the questions are coming. All right. Yep, she just said she sent the question via text.
Okay, I got the question.
All right, and Trish, your question was actually similar to another question that we got earlier today
from Shelly.
And we're gonna answer this question. and I think Trish, yours was basically the same thing. Shelly said, "What's your wisdom on a married couple and individual bank accounts? My money, your money. I've seen where the one who earned the most splurge on their wants, leaving the other person lacking." That looks different from what you asked, Trish. And then Shelly asked, "Do you have individual or joint accounts?"
We have both individual and joint accounts.
Yes.
And this will go along with what you were asking, Trish, because you said that you and your husband also have a household account where you put all your money in to pay all the bills out of, and then you have your individual accounts. And how does all that work? Does that work good? Should you just have like one account or multiple accounts? I don't see it, me personally, I don't see anything wrong with you having multiple accounts, but I do see something wrong with if you having separate accounts and one the other has to lack on anything.
Right.
So this goes into Shelly's question with that whole thing. If you have a main breadwinner and they're bringing in all of the money and y'all have separate accounts, but y'all putting the same amount of money into the household accounts and the bills are getting paid, when one or the other either is going out and splurging on getting their hair done or their nails done or whatever, but the other one has to stay at home and gets absolutely nothing done, or the person that is making the most money, if it's the husband and he's wanting to go out and buy all these electronics and the wife can't get her nails done, her hair done, I think that, that ridiculous. You should be able to still be able to take care of everything.
Right. You need to have balance.
A good balance. And I
like what Trish said in her text message. She said that she realized that over the years it was a control issue.
It is a control issue. It's a control issue.
And I think that's what a lot of people they get caught up with is the control part of it, because they want to hold on to their money.
Hey, Phyllis.
They're like, this is my money. Right. I work for it.
And
I don't care if we're married, and I'm going to hold on to what I got.
And see, a lot of the times the couple seems to feel like it's their money they made. They can do what they want to do with it. And as long as the bills are paid, you got your share. I got my share. If you run out of money, I loan you some.
But I don't understand, how do you loan your spouse money?
People do it all the time.
That's ridiculous. You're in the same house. You benefit from this. You benefit from it.
Absolutely.
So how do you loan your spouse some money? They gotta pay you back. Really?
People do that. I don't understand it myself, because at the end of the day, it's still going to be taken from one hand to the other hand. It doesn't make sense to me. But some people actually make it work like that. I guess because with us, from day one, we've always put our monies together. Even when we were dating, we always put our money together. It wasn't no separate thing.
Our parents thought that we were the dumbest kids on the face of the planet. They called us all kind of names, because even when we were in high school, we pooled our money together. Mm-hmm. If she needed and I had it, she got it, and vice versa.
Right.
Because here's the thing. What Shelly was saying, when one spouse is thriving and the other one is lacking, it shouldn't be that way. Because if one person in the marriage is thriving, the couple should be thriving.
Absolutely.
And to Shelly's the second half of Shelly's question, do you have individual or joint accounts? We have both. We have a joint account where all of our money goes into our joint account, but we do have separate accounts where it's like savings, but there are times when we have to pull from those accounts to pay bills out of the joint account.
Right.
So, we find a way to make it work for us, like Trish and Rob, you guys have made it work for yourselves as well.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hey, Rhonda, how you doing?
So, I'm pretty sure we've answered that question. It just in my opinion, I could not survive if not knowing, I guess, about how much money. If I can't get my hands on it, I need to be able to touch it too. But yeah, to me, in my opinion, it just works easier for us to be able to pull all the money together. So when anything needs to be done, we just get it done.
Yeah. So guys, seriously, ask us anything. You got the floor is yours. Just type your questions in. We can't look at them on direct in the DMs right now because we're live. So just go ahead. You're gonna have to type your questions in and post them so that we'll be able to answer them right here.
So let's go on to the next question.
Hey Shauna, how you doing?
Hi Shauna. So the next question was a question that I got this afternoon when I was on phone call, and she asked, "What do you think about opposite sex friendships?"
You know what I'm finna say.
Say what you gonna say.
No, we don't roll like that. If they can't be, we have married couple friends. We have very few of our friends are single.
Right.
I mean, very few of our friends are single. And case in point, when my wife and I, when we got back together, she had male friends.
Don't use me case in point.
No, I'm just saying, listen, you had male friends. You still wanted to have contact at the time with your male friends. I'm like, no, you gotta cut this off if we're gonna be together. You've got to cut your ties off with your male friends. You said I'm picking. Oh, I'm not picking. But I'm just saying, it was.
It can cause a problem.
It can cause a real problem.
Have a male or a female friend, someone that you call like your best friend, that you confide in, that you like spend time with, just even if it's just like hanging out. It can cause problems because if your husband or your wife is not friends with this person and y'all all together, then it's just not a good combination. And he did his case in point, but I'll do my case in point. Case in point. And it's not even so necessarily so that it is a single friend. Because in our situation, our friend was married. And he just was not a faithful husband to his wife, and he did not want my husband to be a faithful husband to his wife. Mm-hmm. So you have to be careful how you pick and choose your friends, right? No matter what their sex is. Friendship should be a give and take, but always to uplift and not to separate. Oh, that was good.
All right, then, go ahead.
Oh, that was good. Did y'all get that? That was good. But it should be a give and take, and it should not do anything to cause a separation or any kind of division within your household. So if you have a friend that is always putting that let's go party, and you don't need to be going out that party, what you partying for? What you going out that partying in the streets going to the club for? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or if you have someone that's always there, so what did he do now? And this is a guy talking to you as a woman asking, what else has he done wrong? Or a female.
And here's the thing. When that happens, they're actually planting bad seeds into your marriage.
They are. So you don't want anyone that's going to be planting those. No. And then people don't look at it like when you build an emotional relationship with someone, those emotions turn into a relationship, whether you want to call it that or not.
Yeah.
When you are emotionally tied to a person, and this so-called best friend is a guy or a girl, but you're always wanting to, ooh, this happened, so I gotta call so-and-so. Ooh, this is going on, so I gotta call so-and-so. Ooh, babe, can we do something later so I can go hang out with someone? You've already built an emotional attachment and having an emotional affair with that person. And whether you know it or not, behind those emotions follows a lot of times other things. Anything could happen. Yeah. So you have to be very, very, very careful when you are having a friend of the opposite sex. I personally think that it's possible to have those relationships, but only if it's a four-way friendship where we're all friends and we all hang out together, and we can build each other up instead of trying to tear any parts of those relationships down.
Now, like my wife and I, we have a mutual friend that came through my wife through her job. Her and she got married, and and when they got married, we the four of us, we were friends. Well, unfortunately, their marriage didn't last. So, but we are still friends with her. Now, I do not contact her for anything except on her birthday. That is the only time I will reach out to her and just to tell her happy and say happy birthday. And that's it. And I send it through text message. We do not talk on the phone. But she is a friend that came through from my wife. But we don't conversate like that. See, how would it look if I'm having a conversation with another woman about some of the things that my wife may be or may be not doing? You know, like I said, seeds can be planted in your marriage when those kind of things happen.
Yep.
And it can. You got a question?
No, Tasha said she has a male friend. Her husband knows about him. And hey, Tasha. So
if it works for you,
hey,
awesome. If you're and that's the thing. If your spouse is cool with it, then it's cool with your marriage. But like for me in my house, no, that ain't flying.
And the thing is too that there is a certain level of trust that you have to be able to have in the other party. In our relationship, we have had friends time and time again where one would hit on one of us or one or the other one of us.
Yes.
So
yes.
If your friend is sneaky hitting on you or babying
making
you all
sly
the time,
comments.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look out for stuff like that because somewhere in the back of their heads, you don't really know what they're thinking because with us, I personally never would have thought that any of my husband's friends that he worked with would try to talk to me because they always told their wives to stay away from me because I was too mean and too bossy. But I guess that's what they like behind, on the low. I don't know. But the thing is that, you just, it's to each his own. I couldn't do it.
Tarsha says,
he never hit on me.
He never hit on.
My kids know him. And not at my...
Yeah, that's Rhonda Burke. Rhonda Burke says, not at her house either.
Okay.
And like I said, if it works for your marriage...
To each his own.
Yeah, if it works for your marriage, for you guys to be able to let that happen, then awesome, amazing. That's your marriage. You have full range to do what you want to do within the confines of your marriage with your spouse. If your spouse is cool with it, then cool. But I guess because like my wife said, we've seen too many bad things happen with those kind of relationships personally with us to say we won't allow that to happen ever again.
And now in the circles that we run in now, I don't see anything like that ever happening.
It can though.
So, but you have to be wise in the friendships and the relationships that you choose. So, with that said, let's move on to the next question.
Gotcha. What you got? And you guys, please feel free to shoot questions at us. We have some questions already here. Phyllis says, husband and wife should be best friends. It keeps it strong. And that is so true. Husband and wife, she is my best friend. Yeah. When we were in high school, my friends who I hung out with before I met her were mad at me. Even my best friend that I grew up with, he thought I had divorced him because I started dating my wife. But she was my girlfriend then, and it was rough for a minute because my friends thought I had abandoned them.
You had.
I really did.
You really did. So, the next question is about. Is that sex?
No, that's
the finance question. We already covered that. So it says, sex, is it easy to get back to a good love after infidelity? So I may not have written this down right as the question was being put to me, but okay.
With us, and we'll set the table. I cheated on my wife twice. And how else could I say it? I cheated on my wife twice. And so we can build, so you can see the reason why we're answering this question the way we answer it. So now, for me, when my wife and I got back together, both times it was easy for me to have sex with her. Now, you, on the other hand, it was different for you. Why?
I'm sorry, what?
The question.
I mean, the way you just came out there and said that was just such a, like... Okay, so... Getting back to having a loving, passionate, I guess, relationship with my husband after the fact of infidelity was not an easy thing.
It wasn't easy for her.
At first, sex was just sex. There was no real feeling behind it, just to do it. And then as the feelings start coming back and I wanted to be with my husband, making love to him or having sex with him was it was doable, but it was painful. Not in a physical pain, but in a pain like we would be in, I guess, the throes of passion. And I would get these feelings and these emotions would start coming over me to where I would be crying and stuff. But if you've ever been in that situation and you really love the person that you're with, anything can be overcome.
Yeah, because we overcame it.
It was a lot of praying.
And it was a lot of work.
A lot of talking to each other. And he had to be very understanding of when I would have those memory attacks, I guess. Or when I would have those moments where we're making love and I think about him touching someone else. So he had to be understanding when those tears would start rolling. I'm just like, please leave me alone. And he was understanding. It wasn't all about him. And he realized that.
Mm-hmm.
He had to regain my trust in a way that made me feel safe enough to give myself to him completely. And that was a hard thing to do. But over time, in prayer, and the fact that I loved my husband, and I loved it when he touched me, we worked on it.
Yeah.
And we did get back to eventually.
Yeah. So it can be hard. It can be very difficult. It's a very difficult road to go down.
It's a very difficult road to go down.
Because the person who did the cheating, they have to realize the hurt and the pain that they caused.
Come on, sweet son.
And you have to be very patient.
You have to be
with your spouse when you're coming back to if you're trying to make your marriage or your relationship work. You're doing your very best to understand and be very understanding.
To understand and be very understanding.
Yeah, you can't listen. You have got to focus on being understanding about what you put your spouse through.
And I know when you're in the middle of that moment and one person says, "Stop, get away from me," it might be hard. But if you really care about that person's feelings, you have to stop and you got to think. You know, she's crying.
Right.
I need to comfort her at this time instead of worrying about getting off.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, and she brought up a good point, because she was crying while we were making love, and I'm thinking that I'm doing the dang thing. And she I'm like, yo, I'm really doing something. She crying until I really realized she wasn't crying from anything that I was doing to her. She was crying because of hurt.
Anything that you had done to me.
And what I had done, and I was like, this can never ever happen again. I can never be this out of tune with my wife and not realize all the hurt and pain that I caused.
Read the statement. You got another statement?
Yeah, I see it. But I wanted to finish that first.
Okay.
Trish says, good point. We've been very good with making sure we each get our guilty pleasure, whether it is eating or visiting a casino or shopping together. And see, that's good. If you can find a happy medium with you and your spouse with your finances and the way you handle your accounts. If you find a happy medium that works for you guys, see, what we found a way that works for us. And I think I seen a question that was on there: who pays the bills in the house, the man or the wife? I think I seen that in one of the other questions. It was at the top.
I don't know.
But that question, it varies from couple to couple. See, most men think that, you know, they're going to take control over, they're going to manage the finances. But see, with me, I learned real early in our marriage, I was horrible with money. And my wife, she's frugal. She's very good with money. So I had to say, hey, the check's going to hit the bank. Can you cover the bills? Can you manage the finances? Because I'm going to mess up and something's going to get turned off.
Oh, he ain't have to say that. The girl was already on it.
So we actually had to, I actually had to relinquish that duty of paying the bills and stuff to my wife, and we was going to be homeless.
So Trish came back in and she said, a lot of people wouldn't go through the tears and struggle. I commend the work it takes to love.
Thank you, Trish. And like I said, it takes a lot of work. And, you know, I think...
And she saw a lot of what we went through.
Yeah,
she was actually one of those strong people that my friend... Actually, you know what? This goes back to that first question. Well, it's saying, could you have a female, a friend of the opposite sex? Because when we was going through our struggle and we was on our road back to recovery, that's who I made you go stay with.
You're right.
That is who I made. I mean, she was my best friend, and I knew that I could trust her with anything. And I love you, Trish. She took my husband in for 6 months. It was about 6 months.
No, it wasn't 6 months.
It was 2 or 3 months. Her girls absolutely loved having him there. But you know, if I trust you with my husband, I trust you with my life, girl. But yeah, you were there through it all. So,
right.
And you saw the tears and the pain that, you know, we went through. You saw what he was going through on his end too. So, yeah. So sometimes, like I said, to each his own.
Yeah.
This is one of those rare occasions in my life that I have a female friend that is also his female friend. Now, do y'all talk and carry on regular conversations? No. But that is where I sent him when we was making the decision to get back together.
I think the last time Trish and I had a private conversation, it was the direct message on Facebook when she was trying to come up here to surprise. Well, she came up here to surprise you.
She surprised.
And we were coordinating it, and I had to keep the secret until she knocked on the door. And she had been getting this thing together for a week or so. And when she planned out, but that was the only time. So what's that?
It says what went wrong.
With what?
Our relationship, I guess. What caused the breakdown to make you cheat, I guess.
What went wrong in our marriage when, like I said, we went through 2 separations. Both times.
So what went wrong with that first separation? What happened?
Both of them were the same. Both of them were my selfishness. Me not caring, just thinking about myself, and thinking that I could get away with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it was. And
but what caused your eye to wonder?
What caused my eye to wonder? You're not supposed to be asking me the questions.
Well, it made me have a question.
Okay, what was your question again? You made me start sweating.
Okay, so the question was, what went wrong? And you said it was your selfishness.
Yeah.
But what caused your eye to wonder to make you want to even go that route?
You know what? To be honest, I have no earthly idea, because you were attractive then, you're attractive now. You sexy then, you're sexy now. And it like I said, it was through my selfishness and thinking that I could get away with something. And it wasn't nothing really that just caught my eye. So, why are you grinning? But that's what went wrong in our marriage.
So out of his selfishness, I don't know if I ever told you this. I probably did because I tell everything. I tell you everything. There were opportunities that I could have cheated on you before you ever cheated on me.
I know.
And I guess I'm not that selfish type of person, because when opportunities arose to me, I thought about what it would do to you if I did that. So I was able to control because the guy was attractive, but I still was like, I have a whole husband. I couldn't do this to my husband. So, I guess that was probably the reason why I asked that after what went wrong. And in relationships, when stuff does go wrong, you can't just blame it all on one person.
No.
Yes, he was selfish. Yes, he wanted to do what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. But at the same time, you have to look at, even though he said that I was attractive, at the same time, I had some ugly qualities about me back then. And it's not like I'm trying to place blame on me or anything, but you still, in the end, have to somewhat look at yourself and the role that you play in any mishaps,
right,
with your relationship. So,
which I think the next question ties into what we're talking about now.
How did you get to I can't see now.
It says, how did you get to the point where you could actually see yourself with someone other than your wife or your husband?
Yeah, that is pretty much the same question.
But I know during the second separation, you had male friends.
Yep.
And how easy was it for you to see yourself with someone else other than me?
It wasn't. It was very, very difficult for me to imagine being with another man. But the fact that I knew that my husband had another woman laying up in my house made me want to see. So, now mind you, I had already started going to church and I believed in God and everything, but I felt like at that time, I felt like God had turned his back on me. I was hurt and I was angry, and I began to feel like if he could do it, I could do it too. I also began to feel like, oh, somebody did it to me, so I don't care about the other woman. I was in a really, really bad, destructive place. So it was hard for me to make that first step. But once I made that first step, and ladies and gentlemen, once you make that first step, the next time it gets easier. So don't even go that route.
Right.
So, is that the end of that question?
What's the next one?
What is the difference between love and being in love?
What's the difference between love and being in love? You know, both are emotions, number one. I can say that I love my wife, and that love can just be like with everyone else. I just love you. But then when you say you're in love with somebody, that means that there's more of an affection there for the person that you're looking at or you're spending your time with. You know, when I say that I'm in love with my wife, I am in love with my wife. And, you know, I can't be in love with another woman because I'm in love with my wife. But I can love other ladies. It's not romantically.
I'm just listening to you, bro.
But I can say that I love another lady.
Hey, Leandra.
And it not mean the same thing as I'm saying I'm in love with my wife. See, because it's easy. I won't say it's easy, but just to say, you know, when you care about someone, and you just say, you know, I love you, and they say I love you too. It's just, you know, you just have a respect and a love for a person without it being romantic. And I think in love, you get so much so into the romance of being in love.
Okay, so I thought that we would be more on the same page when it comes to this question, but like he said, they're both emotions. They're both feelings. I feel like anybody can say that they're in love because that is a feeling and they fall in and out of love on a regular basis. When you love someone, you take it beyond that feeling. To me. Now, saying that I love my kids, I love my kids. I will lay down my life for my kids. Saying that I love my husband, I love my husband beyond the shadow of a doubt. I will lay down my life for my husband also. The love, that the difference between the in love and the love is those butterflies that can come and go. And if you basing your relationship on those butterflies, then, and you don't have that real love that you are willing to give up everything for that other person, I feel like you're missing out on what love is all about. Because if I love my husband, which I do, he can get on my nerve 10 to 30 days out of the month, and we get along only one day out of the month. And I ain't going nowhere. Because why? I love him, and we made a commitment to each other, and I am always going to be there for him and for that commitment. Once those butterflies are gone and it makes me want to do a little slap dance, then what else do I have? If I'm always dependent on how he's making me feel at that moment, then every time I look at him and he's making me sick, and I'm just like, okay, it's been 30 days, so my butterflies ain't back yet. No, it can't be like that. You have to have something that is much deeper.
Yeah.
That agape love.
That's good, girl. High five on that. You did your thing.
You know that.
Leandra says, I think love is
you can't see it,
unconditional. Has an unconditional part to it, and that's true.
It's unconditional.
It's unconditional.
Unconditional and undeniable.
Yeah.
Yes,
So someone asks, how do you deal with family and your relationship with your husband and wife?
That's a good one right there.
And believe it or not, we this has been us from the beginning, is that we don't involve our other family members in our stuff that happens at 6404 and
or 559 Set of Drive.
Yeah.
Or Albacore.
Yeah. So any one of the addresses that whatever happened in our house, it happened in our house. We didn't just openly share what was happening inside of our house with other family members. And here's why. If just say I did something to my wife and she went to her family members. Well, 9 times out of 10, she's going to forgive me and then she's going to be cool with me, but then the other family members are still going to be mad at you.
Yeah, they might have a little attitude.
Yeah. So how we deal with it is
you keep your family out of your business.
Yeah, keep your family out of your business.
Don't be going telling mama and daddy about what's going on in your house, or how much your husband or your wife is getting on your nerve, or what they can do and what they can't do, and how he's not paying the bills, and how he's not working, and how she's not cleaning the house, and how she's not cooking, and how she ain't laying it down, and she don't. You keep your family out of your business. Your sisters don't need to know. If you need someone to confide in and talk to about these kind of things, you find you someone who you can really confide in and talk to about with these kind of things, because you need a friend that you can depend on and that you can talk to these things about, that is not going to look at you sideways when y'all get back together, or look at your husband sideways when y'all get back together and be like, oh, she's so stupid, or she's so, you need someone who's going to be supportive and just be able to listen and hug you.
It's okay to share some things,
but make sure they know how to just shut up and listen and hug you.
Because
and keep your business to them.
When my wife, when we reconciled, when we got back together, her family still couldn't stand me.
But now, with that being said,
she said, but
I did not go back and tell my family what was exactly going on in our relationship. It's because I'm a walker. And when things start going bad, I packed my bags up in my kids' bags and we left. I don't not sit and look at nothing that is hurting me. And I believe I'm still like that to this day. I cannot look in the face of something that is constantly hurting me, because I can get over you if I ain't looking at you, but I cannot get over you if you're still in my face and still doing the same thing to me over and over and over again. So when my family got to the point where, it's because I had some sisters, I had a sister that did her own investigation. And she called the house, and another female answered the phone, and then that's when it all broke loose. So once everything broke loose, and then I got the other female so much cussed me out. And I was at work, and I grabbed my keys and grabbed my car, and I went and picked up my kids, and I was on my way to North Carolina because I was about ready to fight. But I wasn't going by myself because my mama got in the car too. She's like, no, you're not going by yourself because this is not going to be good. But I'm just saying, you have to keep, it's beneficial for you and your husband, especially if you already know you're going to get back together, because most of the time,
limit family access, limit your family's access to
your emotional breakdowns.
Yeah.
That's it. Limit your family's access to your marital emotional breakdowns.
Yeah.
And sexual breakdowns.
This
whatever.
next question is for you.
Was this question that we just
did? This question is for you. It says, what did you do when you would be overcome with thoughts and emotions about my past?
About your past or his past? It's a his or her question. Cry. What you supposed to do?
Now, I grant you that, like I said, I had to deal with the hurt and the pain that I caused my wife. And it hurt me just to know that I hurt her. And to see her crying the way she cried, and the pain and the anguish and everything that she went through during our separation, all of it, that it was on me. If I hadn't done what I did, she wouldn't have had to do what she did.
And I told him that over and over again. If you hadn't done what you did,
but you're still accountable for what you did.
I am still very much accountable for what I did.
But I still deal with those emotions at times, because I never ever want to hurt my wife like that ever again. So that's why, when those emotions come up and I'm thinking about my past, all I can say is thank God that he forgave me for them. My wife forgave me for them. Then I had to forgive myself.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing that we tend not to know how to do is
forgiving ourselves.
Forgive ourselves. We'll forgive somebody else, and then it's like, I can't believe I did this. And you just keep dwelling on the things that you did that could have caused issues in your relationship. But we all do stuff.
Yeah.
We just have to learn how to forgive ourselves for the stuff that if we could take the time to remember that God forgave us for everything.
Yeah.
For everything that we did, it went into the sea of forgetfulness. And I wish I could have that God power to put everything in the sea of forgetfulness, but I don't. But I put it to a place where I don't have to relive over and over and over again. Now I am at a place we are at a place in our relationship, that's something else. We are in a place in our relationship to where it's not hard for us to talk about the past and the things that we've been through. We can talk about a lot of the things that we've been through in the past now and actually laugh about it. Was it painful? Yes. Would I wish anyone to go through the things that we have been through? No. Most of y'all couldn't handle it and then still be able to stand strong 30 some odd years in the making and continue to push on. Because when you know that your spouse has done some of the things that this man did, I mean, because sometimes I think about it and I be like, wow.
Man,
but it's in the past.
Boy.
It's in the past. Was he low down and trifling and just, yes, he was.
Am I like that now?
But it's in the past.
No.
This ain't the same man that I was married to then. when God brought us, when I said that prayer and I asked God, I said, Lord, I am at a point in my life right now that I cannot go any lower than I am right now. I need you to bring me a godly man. Get rid of the one that I had, however he gotten rid of, but I need a godly man in my life. And when this one came back, at first I did not believe that this was a godly man that was being brought back to me, but it was. Mm-hmm. And I had to learn how to let our past go and move past it. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a long, long time to get over the hurts that someone may cause you.
Yeah, I mean, it took years for us, and like this is the last question that we have. How did you get How did you get to where you're at now? Oh, and she just started answering that question off the rip, because it started with her asking. God was already doing a work in my life, and then she was asking God. She needed a godly man, but not this man.
Definitely didn't want that one.
But God said, I already got a man for you, and and I'm grooming him now to be the husband that he needs to be for you. And here I am. I popped up, new lease on life. Not the same person that I was. And here's the thing. We became friends again first. We were married, but we became friends first when we got back together.
We had to become friends because I had so much hurt in me that I wanted to pay him back. I wanted him to feel the same hurt that he made me feel. And if it wasn't for God, we wouldn't be here today.
Nope.
Even though
either both of us be dead or one of us be in jail or something.
Even though I wanted us to be back together, I still wanted him to hurt. And in order for us to get past that, we had to pray. We had to be in somebody's church. We had to stay focused on God and the things that he was doing in our lives.
And we had to seek counseling.
We had to seek counseling, and we seek godly counseling. We didn't ask for
anybody.
Right. We went to our first lady and our pastor once we found us a home church, because when we first started going to church, it was still a lot of
it was
still
a lot of raw stuff.
Yeah, because when we first got back, I believe when we first got back together, I still was like on the phone, had somebody in my ear for maybe the first 6 months. Mm-hmm. Something like that. But because I was like, you're not gonna make me get rid of my friends who helped me get through this when you weren't there. But I was wrong for that. I was completely wrong for that. They weren't my friends. They was trying to get some of what he was giving up. I don't know. Anyway, it was just we were in a bad place, and we could not have gotten to where we are if we did not depend on God.
Yeah, and here's the thing. We had to want it to work.
Man.
A lot of people can say, well, I prayed about it, I went to God, but you and your spouse, your partner, whoever you're in a relationship with, the other person has to want it as well.
And when he said you have to want it, when you want it, whatever the other person has done, you still gonna give your 110%
right
to make it work. Even though at first I wasn't giving my 110%, but God had put enough strength in him to endure because of the amount of hurt that I had to get past.
Yeah,
he gave him the strength to be able to pull me up.
See, because God had made me a promise that he was going to restore my marriage. And everything that she did to me during that time, I endured it. I endured the if she hit me, I endured it.
That was
if she blew smoke in my face, I endured it.
That was smoke.
If she went out with her friends, I had to endure it. Did it all hurt? Yes, it did. Yes, you did. It hurt. I mean, my heart was torn to pieces.
It was
my heart was in shreds. But the only thing I could say is I still love you. I still love you.
Mm-hmm.
I still love you. That's all I can say through all of it, because I was standing on a promise that God gave me.
You stood on
and
that
I
promise.
stood on that promise. You said that that we're gonna be together, so we're gonna be together. And come hell or high water, it's gonna happen. And
if he had given up and not listened to what God said and not wanted our marriage to work, it wouldn't have.
It wouldn't have at all.
Because I really wanted to hurt him. I wanted him to hurt. So if he had just backed off a little bit, there's no way.
Yeah, I had to be relentless. One person in a relationship has to be relentless. And I mean, like I said, she had to get to a place to where she was receptive of what God was doing in our lives.
Yep.
So.
And it's not easy, but it's worth it.
I tell you what. I don't know how soon before we do another one of these Ask Us Anything.
Ooh, honey, because this thing got me over here sweating.
I told you. I started sweating on one too. Now, guys, listen. We appreciate everybody who submitted questions. And I pray that we answered your questions the best of our ability. Guys, listen.
Our life is an open book.
It is.
It's an open book, and we will answer your questions to the best of our abilities always. If you ask us anything, we're going to be as truthful as we possibly can. And everything that we've been through is not pretty, and it's not easy to talk about. But if it's something that can help one person get through or over a rough spot, we are here to help you get over that rough spot.
Yes.
Because if he did it for us,
he can do it for you.
Absolutely.
And that's a definite promise.
Absolutely.
Now, here's the we now have a YouTube channel, guys, for 30 Till Forever, but it's not the word 30. You have to put the number 30 Till Forever in to find us on YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe and hit the notification button or whatever you do on YouTube.
Whatever you do on YouTube.
And so that you guys can go back and watch older videos that we've already done. For whatever reason, when I was downloading videos and putting them on YouTube,
you couldn't find them all. So
I couldn't find all of our videos because we got a boatload.
But if you want to, you can just always go back and refer to some of those videos. And if you have any other questions that maybe one of those struck,
you can always comment, and you can always ask us a question.
Ask us.
We always answer all of our questions that we get.
Yes.
And we want to appreciate you guys. And please do not forget to go to YouTube and subscribe to us. 30 Till Forever, the number 30 Till Forever on YouTube. And we will, and just hit the subscribe button and a little bell so you're notified when we post a new video.
And like it and share it. That's how they do it. Like, share, and subscribe. Yes. Follow.
Hey, Demetrius, we love you too, man. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate your support. And Demetrius is another person who was there, early when.
He was. Yeah. That was back in the Blue Circle days.
Yeah. So D, thank you so much for being an amazing friend and brother, man.
And she said something.
And dude, you're absolutely amazing. We got one more real quick. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you, Leandra.
Thank you.
How to say like, share, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. 30 Till Forever. We love you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. And if God did it for us, He can do it for you.
Trust and believe.
Trust and believe. Amen. You guys have a great evening. Bye.
Good night. You